Hello, my name is Smooth from Branch Up Production. Today is February 15th, 2021. I called one of my friends, my man Oz from My Block TV. I told him to come down so we could just pop some shit, talk about politics, sports, filming, whatever. He said, okay, so here we go. Hello, everybody. This is Smooth from Branch Up Production.
I'm Oswald Williams from My Block TV.
We just doing a little production to flood the airways and talk about a few topics that we were talking offset. So I said, listen, let's go in front of the camera and talk about it.
This was somewhat of a spillover for y'all. Don't just give you some backstory. He just finished producing two of my Random but Relevant, two of my podcast episodes. And
dope footage.
Thank you. Yeah, it really was. I'm saying thank you, and you the one that shot it. But a lot of conversations spilled over as we were at break.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you had a bunch of stuff on your mind you wanted to pick it back on. So
yeah, because while we're shooting, I was thinking to myself, I'm shooting for someone who is a Trump supporter.
I never said.
If I knew that prior to the shoot, I probably wouldn't have shot it. Let me explain to you why. I'm only joking, by the way.
I know, but why you say I'm a Trump supporter? Because I don't like Biden?
Well, I mean, there's two people that you can go for. Either you can go for Trump or then go for Biden. But
so, where do you think we are in the country where you don't like both of them? What do I have? What's my options?
Right. Huh?
What's my options if I don't have the right? I'm not happy with both.
Then say something bad about both, or say you don't like both, but you're saying you don't like Biden. I didn't hear you say anything about you don't like Trump. So if you're saying you don't like both of them, but you're only saying the negativity about Biden, what people gonna think? I didn't hear you say anything negative about Trump. Is that correct?
I mean, the negativity with Trump, I think, to be honest with you, I think 55 to 60% of it is because he doesn't talk like your average politician. He doesn't, quite frankly, doesn't know how to talk to people. Trump reminds me of your grandparent that don't have a filter.
Well, I never had a racist grandparent.
Define, that's what I'm trying to say, define racism to me.
So you don't think he's racist?
I don't think he's any more racist than any one of these people, man.
You think Biden's racist?
I know Biden's racist. What do you mean, do I think Biden is racist?
We talking about
Joe Biden is the worst kind of racist to me.
Yeah.
I heard, I was on the set one time and I heard a guy say, he's California racist.
What do that mean?
Meaning, like, during the cooler talk, you're my friend. On an everyday job, you're my friend. But then in a board meeting, when it's time for me to get a promotion, you're going to be the first one to say something negative about me.
But he hired a female vice president. Along with other minorities in his cabinet. But Trump didn't do that.
I'll say this. We all are fans of Dr. King, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, part of Dr. King's dream was to be people to be judged by the content of their character. So yes, Kamala Harris is an African American woman, and our mothers are. I know how your relationship with your mom.
Okay.
I don't need Kamala Harris to know the level of respect you have for women and your mom. And I think sometimes we dress the whole first African Americanness behind that, and we don't really look into the person's character anymore. So I think that's dangerous.
So did you vote for Trump?
I absolutely did. 100% did.
Because
I understand how math works. I understand that there's no way I can compare 3.5 years to 47 years.
So are you saying you think Trump is a racist?
I think Trump is no more racist than anyone.
That's not what I'm asking you. Do you think Trump is a racist?
Based on what?
No, I'm saying, do you think?
I don't think he's racist.
But Biden is a racist.
I think Biden is very much racist.
So Trump, in the last 4 years, he didn't do nothing that was borderline racist?
100% he did. But I think
Let me ask you one question.
Go ahead.
Was you in Washington January 6th?
No,
I'm just want to ask that question.
I wasn't in Washington.
Oh, no, that was a question. Go ahead.
But what I'll say is, what makes you want to say that? Like, where you going with this?
No, I'm saying, I want to know, was you at the Capitol on January 6th?
No, I'll say this, man. Like, I just believe that.
Because I called you January 6th, and I heard loud noises in the background.
Cut it out, bro.
And I heard glass shatter. And I heard glass shatter. And you said you'll call me back, you're doing something.
Nah, I ain't do that. I wouldn't. Look, I'll say this. Here's my position on Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump, two things I don't like about Donald Trump is I don't like how he treated his vice president after all this shit went down, because the vice president had his back even when he was fucking up. So I didn't like that about Donald Trump. I don't like that he doesn't know how to speak to people. But I do know there's an element there that we're trained to expect certain things from our politicians. That we're rebranding the job of a politician, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Okay, let's take racism off the table for 1 second. What about when, I forgot who was it, who asked for foreign aid, and he said, I will only give you foreign aid if you look into Biden. While people was dying, they needed money for the military. And the Congress said give it to him. Trump said, nah, I need you to investigate Biden. People was dying.
No,
But he's worried about his election.
I don't.
That never happened?
I don't. It happened. The way you're saying it is kind of misleading, and I think that's what's happening with the country.
So he didn't give the money right away.
No, I think.
No, don't tell me what you think. Tell me what happened.
I'm telling you what happened. I think a lot of times when Trump put certain tariffs on China and certain countries, from a business standpoint, you can't tell a person they're wrong for saying, if we're giving you $480 billion a year to help with your infrastructure, and in a 5-year span, there's no improvement on your infrastructure, and people are still coming in the country illegally. Now, how I say that is crucial, but you can't run from the fact that that's a conversation you might want to have.
But now, that's not what happened. Russia was on their border. United States said give them money because Russia was on their border. Your president said, I need your help first. Don't give them money unless you help me with my campaign.
But
what about this moral compass to say no?
Moral compass. See, this is and I'm not saying that didn't happen. But
That's exactly what happened.
We're acting like his son laptop.
Right.
You can't just throw that evidence away just because you don't like Donald Trump.
What does that do with the border? With
what I'm saying
Russian
is
troops.
Joe Biden's son has compromised that whole thing.
It's a possibility.
It's not this is a fact. But what you know what's happening?
There's no evidence to that.
Yes, it is.
They never.
Are you kidding me?
What evidence came
A
out?
whole laptop full of compromised things. And you know what's helping the Democrats the most? The media.
What came up that I must have missed that episode. I didn't see. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I mean, I try to keep up as much as I can.
There are direct emails where his son is leveraging his father as the vice president to get side deals.
But I asked you about the border that Trump said, do not give them the money.
Russia?
No, it was Ukraine. Was it Ukraine? Our United States of America said give Ukraine money for their borders. Then Trump decided to hold back on the aid that we said give him. It's like his money. The United States of America agreed to give them money. Trump said, Trump said, we give them money, but I need you to do me a favor. Huh?
So how is that different from the other allegations? See, I just want to know what part of this is just we hate Trump, and I'm gonna let you get away with what you get away for. Let's just get him out the way.
No, I'm not saying I didn't vote for Biden. I'm not saying I don't think he's racist, no. But I know Trump is an idiot. I'm not voting for the idiot.
I'm not voting for a closet racist.
No. But I'm not going to vote for someone that I know is not good for this country.
I'm not going to vote for someone that I know locked up plenty of people that look like me. And here's the bottom line about...
Okay, that was a long time ago.
Here's the bottom line about Joe Biden. Here's the bottom line about Joe Biden. For that year, for that small fraction of time, the crime bill made sense. But through a 5-year, 10-year span, they destroyed our community. He destroyed the head of the household.
Do you know what year that was?
It was 93.
Okay.
So my thing is, it wasn't 93.
Almost 30 years ago.
But you don't see the destruction.
I can tell you what this idiot did 30 days ago.
This is the reality for me when it comes to criminal justice. Something that black men.
For one, it's not a crime to call him an idiot. He's not the president.
No, he's not the president.
I just want to make sure I was going to. No, you know what it is. Yeah.
Here's how I see it. Joe Biden and this crime bill, right? And we could say that was 30 years ago, but we could still see the destruction of it in 2021. Therefore, but you know what I learned? You know what this past election cycle taught me?
What?
That nobody don't really fuck with the black man like that unless they want a nut or they want to be entertained. When it comes to women and when it comes to the world. So nobody don't really value us like that. So I'm not surprised when...
So you thought Trump was a great president, a good
No,
president?
I can only judge Trump on his legislation. I can't judge Trump on what Don Lemon want me to think about him.
So you think he did a good job?
Let's talk about it. I think he did a really... Whether or not you think Donald Trump is an asshole or not...
I think he's an asshole.
That criminal justice bill that signed under his regime is precedented. I personally know people that came home early from that crime bill. So for me, I can only judge you based on what you do on paper. I'm not listening to CNN, all the black anchors from CNN, and I'm not letting them tell me how to feel about Donald Trump.
Let's go to January 6th, shall we?
Yeah, let's go to January. But no.
When
See, that's what I think is not fair. Don't say, what's up with y'all? Why you keep saying I'm...
No. I'm saying when y'all was storming the Capitol.
Don't put me apart.
There you go. You said we.
This is to my point.
Yes.
Let me ask you something. Joe Biden had an opportunity to do.
Why are you going back to Joe Biden? I want to talk about January 6th.
But how do we jump to January 6th when he had 4 years? Can we talk about the 4 years he had as a president?
We sure enough can. But let's talk about January 6th first.
Okay, January 6th. Go ahead.
January 6th. When our democracy was being challenged by Trump, he said, let's go to the Capitol. While they was jumping over the gates, beating the cops in the head, our commander-in-chief did nothing. They was there for him. They said they was there for him.
Okay, our commander, let me ask you something. Prior to January 6th, did anybody treat him like the commander-in-chief?
What you mean?
So,
all the details on that.
This expectation that you had for him on January 6th when the shit hit the fan, right? Mm-hmm. My question is, the previous 3.5 years before that, was that level of expectation there for him? Did he get a chance to show that he was doing his job?
Yeah, he had plenty of chances.
Nah, I don't think he did.
Yeah, he was our president. He had plenty of chances. But the shit that came out his mouth, grab the pussy, our president?
I would rather hear a president say, grab the bitch by the pussy, than hear, if you ain't voting for me, you ain't black.
Got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
If that's not the most disrespectful shit...
Nah, let's take it out of context.
So...
Let's think about this. It was taken out of context. I get that comment shouldn't have been said. I agree. Shouldn't have been said.
So when Donald Trump was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, when we was glorifying him, and we wanted Donald money and all that, Was he the same person?
Do you know why he said that? Do you know the meaning why he said that?
What?
So why do you think that was a disrespectful comment?
For me?
Yes, absolutely.
Because if this is just human nature, if someone knew that you would have their back no matter what, why would they cater to you the way you want them to cater to you?
No.
It's no different from having a bitch on you.
Why do you think he made that comment?
About Joe Biden?
Absolutely.
Because he's an arrogant motherfucker and he know black people are brainwashed to fuck with Democrats. So he felt comfortable enough to say that on a black platform.
Let me tell you how I took it. I could be wrong. But I think he was saying Trump is not for the black people.
Based on what? It's not based on policy. Because I can show you 2 policies he made in the past 4 years. That is unprecedented, bro. You can't take that from him. It's on paper. It's in the books. The executive orders he did. Like, this is why I say black people we gotta chill out with that.
Chill out with
What? We have this thing where we glorify our celebrities so much where a black politician feels like she can come on versus battle and tell us to go vote. I think the way they treat us is very counterproductive and disrespectful.
That comment he made was uncalled for.
Yes, and that speaks volumes.
It was uncalled for. I mean, it was, why do you say that? But I know what he meant.
So let me ask you something.
Sometimes everything shouldn't be said.
And that's how Trump did. I think Trump's biggest obstacle was that Trump reminded me of a grandparent with no filter. But you can't deny the point they're trying to make. And it's based.
But how do you say Trump? You don't believe Trump is racist?
I don't think he's racist because I read his policy.
So you're basing. So you're not basing nothing he said.
I'm basing
on television.
I'm basing everything based on his policy. And when it comes to his policy,
so you're basing his legacy on what he's doing, not what he's saying.
Yeah, 100%.
But you just down the Biden with some shit he just said.
Because that Biden policy doesn't match. I'm not surprised when Biden do fuck shit. Because that he has a career of doing fuck shit. From NAFTA, he's tied to that. That took all the jobs out the country, he's tied to that. He's tied to criminal justice. Everything that fucked black people over in the 90s, he's tied to.
So you're not going to even give him a chance?
How many more chances you got? You know another thing I personally don't like about Biden, and it's the only personal thing?
So now we get to nitty gritty. You don't like him?
I don't like him, no. I said that. I don't
but
like
Biden. How do you not like Biden, but you think Trump is that dude?
Because I'm judging him based on the 3.5 years he was president and the policy he put.
You said based on what?
The 4 years he was president and the policy that he put place, on top of the fact that the Democrats consciously came up with a plan to just sabotage him for the next 4 years. They didn't care about work. They didn't care about doing work. All they wanted to do was sabotage him for the 4 years. Did they get away? Did they end up impeaching him twice?
Well, he got impeached by the House.
He's 0-2. The task never got completed.
Well, he got impeached twice. He got impeached by the House twice.
Okay, but did the complete process go through twice?
What do you mean? Well, did he get removed from office the first time? No. Absolutely not.
Because the votes just wasn't there.
Not because he didn't do impeachable things. Not at all. Not at all. Because if the shoes on the foot, if that was a Democrat, I think they'd have voted to impeach him at the end of the day.
Let me tell you something, Smooth. This is the reality.
So you didn't think okay, before we go.
I think Donald Trump cared about the American people way more than Democrats did.
Before we go into commercial.
All American people.
You know, our sponsors paid for this.
Shout out to them.
Before we go, you don't think Trump did impeachable offenses? Impeachable offenses. Forget about what he did prior to that. As far as these are the things he did that he should get removed, a yes or no?
No.
So nothing he would did. So if that was Biden, so if that was Joe Biden on the stand, you wouldn't have said he needed to get impeached.
No.
Why did you hesitate?
Because I wanted to say something else, but I wanted to answer your question directly.
So if that was Biden, you would say it, and you was the vote came down to you.
I can only judge a politician based on what he puts into law.
So that was Biden. You would have said no on the impeachment, no on the removal if you was on the Senate.
Right now,
If that was Joe Biden.
no, because Joe Biden, it's not that deep with Joe Biden. Joe Biden makes horrible policy and has a track record of making horrible policy.
So
The only thing Joe Biden can do for black people and me is cut me another fucking stimulus check. I don't, pardon my language only, I don't expect him to do anything productive. I don't expect AOC and Nancy Pelosi to get along. I expect a shit show for the next 4 years. I'll be lucky if I get another stimulus check.
So you think automatically is he gonna do a horrible job?
I know he's gonna do a horrible job.
Okay.
Tell me what evidence suggests. Only thing I want to see, but it's all about perspective to me. So yeah, we getting all this stimulus check and they printing trillions of dollars.
I ain't get one yet.
But look, hear me out.
Welcome back to Branch Up Production. I got my man Oz from My Block TV.
You.
And we just talked about Trump a little bit and Biden and find out we got one of the protesters from January 6th.
I'm not one. Don't listen to him. Yeah, could we put that on record now? I was not in Washington D.C. January 6th. I was working remotely, editing content. Could you please stop telling people I was out there? Because I don't know if you noticed, the feds was running down on everybody that was out there that went inside that building. So I was not there.
They knocked on your door yet?
No, I was not there. Please, I was not there.
I wanna touch on coronavirus.
Yeah, in what region?
Well,
just from America as a whole, or New York City?
Nah, I want to talk about all the mumbo jumbo I'm hearing the cause of COVID. I was talking to a relative of mine. I ain't gonna mention her name, Samantha.
Damn.
No, she don't. You know, I don't think she would like me to say her name. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna call her Samantha.
Okay. Anonymous.
No, that's her name.
That's her name.
Yeah, I just call her Samantha. And she told me that Corona came from 5G network, from the towers.
I heard that going around.
You heard that going around?
Hmm?
No, I'm joking, brother. I know.
Sorry, guys.
And
I just shot 2 straight episodes in a row. I'm kind of like in a different mode than Smooth right now. But you say, yeah, the rumors, the conspiracy theorists.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
and I can tell you from experience,
Yeah.
I didn't get that shit from 5G.
And
I didn't get that from myself.
Let me say one thing. I was worried about you, and I'm glad you recovered. You heard? Just before we get into that.
Thanks for calling me while I was sick. No, I appreciate the phone call.
No doubt.
I appreciate
I thought you were being sarcastic just now.
Did you call me? So clearly that was
I'm glad he's sick. I'm glad you made it through. I'm glad.
No, what I was saying is I appreciate the phone call.
No doubt. All the time.
Now, a lot of people say 5G came from the satellites, from the towers. I think that's one of the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Of course.
Cause I was sick from it, and that shit didn't come from my cell phone. 5Gs didn't. It came from. Last time I checked, it came from China.
But isn't a conspiracy? Shouldn't it always speak to our lack of trust in government?
I definitely have a lack of trust in government.
And should it be like that? I think COVID, the pandemic, really opened everybody's eyes to how much we really don't trust government.
So where do you think it came from?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I reserve judgment on my opinion on that because for all we know, this could have been an attack. So I just reserve judgment on a lot.
It's a possibility. Yeah. So that's your theory. It came, but who attacked us? Because every continent was affected. So if they attacked us, they're an idiot because it happened to them as well.
But See, when you start talking about theories, now I gotta dive into it. So for me, I look at it like, I think we're defense-wise, we're one of the biggest superpowers in the world.
No, we the superpower.
So no one's gonna really fight us in a traditional way anymore. They're gonna try to attack us through hacking,
Agreed.
things like that.
Agreed.
So the first thing I did, because the way COVID hit us, I always knew that there was a possibility that this could have been an attack, and we trying to protect the people from chaos, because America's not built for chaos. So I've always reserved judgment on where this came from. I try to stay away from that, because you worked in Flushing. If you see, people were wearing masks
Way before.
So we gotta like look at everything. We can't just go off emotional. We just can't listen to our favorite celebrity. We gotta really tap in and really lock in and see what's going on.
Well, I'm going off. I had this shit, and I'm going off. This shit killed. I think I checked this morning. Over 570 people in the United States died from COVID. No matter where it came from, it's here.
Yeah.
It's impacting our lives, our everyday lives. I don't. They were saying that we'll never be the same.
You know what I think? I think that COVID happened at a time where one party was focused on making one person look bad, and one president was just trying to do what he felt was right.
I need you to elaborate. What you mean?
When Donald Trump officially became president in 2016, I think Democrats came up with a consensus that we're going to use all of our resources to impeach this man and make him look bad. And I think within the midst of that, COVID
He
happened.
became president when?
In 2016,
Was it the 17?
16.
I don't really follow politics, but I'm sure.
Well, he got sworn in 17.
Yeah, because it was he did 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Yeah.
So he came in 2000 and
But Biden didn't get sworn in until 21.
absolutely,
So-
absolutely. No, I'm not saying you was wrong. I just was trying to understand it. Were you talking about the swearing or when he actually served?
When he actually served.
Was
So
he
I
set?
think Democrats came to a consensus that our main priority is making him look bad, and our best case scenario, we're going to impeach him. Worst case scenario, we're going to make him look bad, and we're going to be disruptive.
by doing COVID.
By
This is before Biden got there. COVID came before Biden got there.
no, I just think that if you look at the timetable on which he passed the criminal justice reform bill, the First Step Act. So if you look at the timetable of what Democrats decided to do and what he did, I think he would have got a lot more done if they didn't decide that they just wanted to impeach him. Because within 18 months, he got one of the best criminal justice reform bills in American history. You can't deny that.
Well, you know what?
And he had both parties working on it.
What?
And shout out to Tom Sullivan out of Alaska who introduced the bill.
Okay, we're going to get back to that. But I want to touch base on COVID. It was introduced in the beginning of 2020. All right. Now, within a year.
Well, technically, nah, bro.
No, remember, Trump got that phone call in
It
January.
was before that.
No, he got that phone call in January.
There's a Rockefeller document I read, and it's literally breaking down the course of action that they're taking. You know, Bill Gates is in Africa right now using our babies like test dummies. So what scares me is that the Democrats' biggest tool is the media,
But
and we're brainwashed by it.
Let me explain something to you. Don't get me killed.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. Just
Don't
not talk
come
about
on
it.
this show
Let's-
and get me assassinated.
Let's just not talk
I'm not
about
fucking
it then.
with Bill Gates.
Let's just not talk about it then, because it's like. So what do you think
Let me ask you a
ultimately is
question.
going to happen?
Who's the most powerful person?
Huh?
Who's the most powerful person in the world?
What do you mean?
Who's the most powerful person right now in the world?
Who is?
Biden.
Let me tell it me.
Okay. Besides yourself, Biden.
Yeah.
And we have a black sister who can make that phone call. The most powerful man in the world.
I don't
And
think
she's second in power.
I think that's a myth, man. I think I'm gonna be real with you.
A myth?
I think Nancy Pelosi.
Nah.
Look,
She's
look.
powerful, definitely. But nah. Not as powerful as the vice president. Nah, Nancy Pelosi. Nah.
That's my problem. I don't like Nancy Pelosi. I think all of them need to go. I think it's time for new ideas and new people. And I feel ashamed that, you know who Kamala Harris, the real Kamala Harris is? Tish James. That's the real Kamala Harris to me.
Oh yeah? Why you say that?
I've just seen her up close and personal before, and she's the real deal.
Honestly, viewers, I don't know who she is.
Tish James is the Attorney General of New York State, and she used to be the public advocate. She used to do what Jumani Taylor is doing now.
Okay.
And I
don't know who Jumani Taylor is.
He's the public advocate.
Okay.
He's basically he's like the concierge to the mayor. Or the Democrats' biggest tool in the toolbox is the media. And they use that to their advantage really well. And
you're supposed to.
And it misinforms them.
I would too. Wouldn't you?
If it depends what your best interest is.
Everybody's on their phone. Everybody's on their tablet. So I mean, how's you gonna get to the masses? The media.
No, man. Because once you compromise the media, then we in trouble.
No, I'm just talking about just media outlet and all.
How do you feel about your First Amendment?
How do you feel about it?
I think that we live in this world where we treat the Facebook terms, we treat Facebook terms and conditions and Instagram terms and conditions.
Like you think your First Amendment being violated?
I know it is.
Huh?
They took the president of the United States off of Twitter, bro.
He don't belong on Twitter.
Perspective is a motherfucker's move. This is what I mean. It's like, what's next? If Twitter can ban the leader of the free world, what's next when it comes to your speech and your opinion?
Well, Twitter's now bound by the president's laws. That's part of
the problem.
No, I'm saying, but Twitter is Twitter. Facebook is. They could do whatever they want to, whatever they seem necessary.
So you think a platform that big should have more power than the Constitution?
That's their platform. They could do it. They can. You never got blocked on Facebook? Was you ever in Facebook jail? Answer my question.
That's what
no,
I said.
Was you ever?
I left Facebook.
No. Was you ever in Facebook jail?
Yeah, I'm still in. That's why I'm not back on Facebook.
Okay,
making me make a new page, and I'm like, fuck you.
Okay, so they can.
Like that anyway.
I get it. Neither do I. So they can do whatever they want to as they seem necessary. We don't have to go on Facebook.
You know what the
We don't have to go on Twitter.
Once upon a time, it was built like that, but now it's impossible not to be on that.
Now I'm not playing the social media.
Around the time last time, remember when I moved back to New York right around the same time I met you? Mm-hmm. I went to Workforce One for a job one time. Mm-hmm. I brought my resume. I was dressed up. The person that was doing my case was taking mad long to come. Don't you know I go to the bathroom to play it off to see what's going on? Don't you know this bitch searched me on Facebook?
Now I use the B word.
I'm sorry. Don't you know this sister searched me on Facebook?
Apologies.
Don't you know she searched me on Facebook?
That's the criteria.
But when social media first opened, MySpace and all that, we didn't know it was going to go this far.
Absolutely. But if you can use someone's platform to do a background investigation, I would do it too. If I look on somebody, if somebody come to me, if somebody come to BrainChip Production,
that's a slippery soap, bro.
Listen,
that's a slippery soap.
Let me ask you a question. My Black TV. Mm-hmm. You're looking for an aid of some sort. You're looking for somebody to fill the void that you're missing in your marketing. Mm-hmm. You know, my Black TV sped is global. You need somebody to head your campaign. Whatever department. Someone walks in the office, gives you a resume. Oh, nice, this resume. If you have a chance to look at their Facebook page, and then when you look at their Facebook page, they rolling dice, they smoking weed, they got guns in their videos, would you hire them? Be honest. Just be honest. They talking about be out of there, and in the game. Would you hire them?
Can I give you an example?
No, but yes, you can. But can you answer my question? would you hire that person from Block TV if he's promoting violence for the last 2 years? Would you want him representing your company?
It will always be contingent upon the job I'm giving him. I just don't believe in that, bro.
I ask you again.
So would I determine whether I'm hiring or firing him based on his social media profile? Is that what you're asking me? Because I can tell you.
You need somebody for the face of my Block TV.
Oh, the face of my Block TV? Absolutely not. But as a job.
So then Facebook was a tool that helped you make the right decision.
No.
It was a tool.
No, it wasn't, because I don't. But you got. It's all about perspective.
No, but you just said no. You wouldn't hire him for
because it's violent. But if he was smoking a blunt and didn't have guns, and was just at parties with a bunch of girls smoking a blunt, I would not judge him based on that.
Neither.
That's what I'm saying.
But once he promote the guns,
yeah,
and the violence,
now it's a conflict. It's a conflict.
So if he's stupid enough to do that on. So yes, Facebook is a good way to weed out the dummies. Can you live without Facebook and social media and all that?
100%.
I can't live without YouTube.
Let me tell you
I can't live without YouTube.
YouTube, because that's your entertainment. But technically you can, because you got cable.
I got a Fire Stick.
Oh, that's a Fire Stick with all them channels?
We gonna be on really? I mean, decide you want to talk to me like you couldn't wait till we hit pause?
Yo, you didn't. Okay, I'm sorry, but let's stay on top. I want to really share this book with your audience, bro, because it's a really good book. I think it's Shane Lanier or Jordan Lanier.
It's what you said. 10 ways.
10 reasons to get rid of your social
media.
But
I don't need a book to tell me 10 reasons why I don't need social media.
But it's the unethical thing. It's the unethical
people
part.
People spend way too much time on Facebook and social media.
Of course,
way too much time.
You know, I'm gonna give you a direct statistic, and this is stamped. Y'all can fact check this if you don't believe me. Ever since social media, our average attention span has decreased by 7.5%, by 7.5 seconds. So you don't pay attention as long as you used to.
I agree, but I want to tell people out there, stop inboxing me if you have my cell phone number. That's my pet peeve. Like, I look at my phone and I see somebody inbox me, and I purposely don't respond back.
Mm-hmm. This is Facebook work.
Yes, that's correct. They are inbox me, and I purposely don't respond back.
Not to cut you off, but I want you to do it.
But you did.
This is the name of the book.
10 arguments for deleting your social media accounts.
By Jordan Lanier.
But it's 10 arguments. It ain't say 10 reasons. So
I'm sorry, 10 arguments.
Did you read it?
Of course.
Give me one argument.
One of the main arguments is what I just told you. The national average of attention span has decreased by 7.5 seconds because it's the little shit.
A lot of people I know never even had that 7.5 seconds.
That's a good
lot of my
point.
friends never had that
That's
7.5.
point.
So
perspective is a motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, do I go on Facebook every day? Nah. But I'm not gonna lie, I do skim through.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think you a dinosaur. I just think you got hood principles and you don't break them.
No,
I don't think
because you know why I don't post.
Yeah,
I know. When I tell you,
you're surrounded by technology, so you can't be a dinosaur.
I have not posted in 2021
because it's you know why? Because I was there when you were shooting 698. You know people. You don't have to build relationships on Instagram. I was there.
No, I never.
Do you understand what I'm saying? No,
I never had Twitter. I never had. What's the other one?
But you gotta understand, someone built a profile that looks like the people person you are from a Twitter personality.
You had Twitter?
Yeah, I do, but I don't tweet. Look, yo, bro, I fundamentally do it because it has to be done. But I'm telling you something. I literally was about to do a digital marketing campaign and pay mad bread. And when that shit happened to me on the Coliseum through one conversation, and I got everything I needed for free just by talking to somebody and going to the Coli, I realized that social media can never be more powerful than interaction.
I'm forced to go on social media. Yeah. Now because
But you know, it's not a rule of thumb for you. It ain't law for you. You know
No, but I know that, like for this video, for instance, I have to put it on Facebook.
Of course.
I have to put it on Instagram.
But that's different from your social life, though.
Yeah. But when I post it, you know, somebody gonna comment.
Yeah.
And I don't have notifications on my phone to say somebody comment. So a lot of times somebody say, yo, I just spoke to you, I wrote something, you never hit me back. Call my cell phone. This is my whole thing. Like, I don't, you know, because I work a lot. So
you just want to put the content out there for the world and let it do what it do.
Correct. So
that's the right way to look at it to me.
So when I put my content, now I know I gotta put my content on when I'm off. Because if I do it, then I can't put this video up and then go to work.
You have to see the insights.
No, I don't have to, but I know that somebody's going to say something, and I would like to respond back to them, because sometimes if I notice if somebody responds to you on social media and you don't respond back,
they take it personally.
Yeah, you're not going to see them again.
100%.
You're not going to see it again. You trust me when I tell you, that person's gone.
Yo, you want to know something, Smooth? Mm-hmm. You know why I always told you certain things? Because I know in New York City you can't appreciate art. Yo, I remember one time you was telling me a story, right? Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna speak on the story, but you was so good at telling the story. I remember looking at you like this. Like, damn, this nigga really got me engaged.
Yeah, I ain't telling.
And remember when I told you, yo, Stu, I don't know if you remember this. I was like, yo, you need to write more. You naturally know how to tell stories.
I think you know.
You don't remember I told you that before, though? Honestly.
I'm 40-some years old. I forget.
Yeah, I always be saying, I be like, yo, you need to write more. You an outstanding storyteller.
You know, growing up in East New York, growing up, you know, Cypress Project, East New York, every day was a story.
Yeah,
so you have so much to say because, oh shit, your cousin, somebody got shot. Oh shit, somebody's fighting. So after a while, you like, you know, I guess gossip. So when you in the neighborhood and you telling the story, you just, you know, like, oh shit, somebody just got shot. You bring emphasis. We talk with our hands.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not a sucker, but I'm a square. And you have me parts of Brooklyn and East New York that I would never go by myself.
Shit, I ain't gonna lie. Shit, I probably won't go no more.
Well, nah, but you know the point I'm trying to make.
Little boys
I ain't gonna go there, but all I'm just saying, I done shot. I've been fortunate enough to have an award-winning project in Queensbridge. And it wasn't about the award, it was the fact that I know everybody can't shoot in Queensbridge. Mm-hmm. I done shot in Brownsville, one of the illest hoods. And I knew that was the gift in production. The fact that I'm making this content in this hood, that's really sacred if you think about it. So for me, it was always about respecting that part of it. Like, yo, I'm able to make content in this environment and appreciate it in a sense. Like, I get to see the perfection within the imperfection. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for me, it was always that. It was always politicking. It was always knowing that, yo, I couldn't do this. I couldn't be a cameraman. I couldn't be an assistant director in this environment if it wasn't for you and your vision. So when I meet artists, I always make sure I big them up and tell them, like, this is the beauty of this. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
You know what I mean? This is the beauty of this, that everybody can't do this. So that's why I used to always tell you, man, you need to write this shit down.
But I wrote it down.
Yeah,
so
you
that
did.
got Branch Out Production has a lot of things coming up.
And another thing I respect about you is, like, when you direct, the story is in your head so much that you know how to talk to any actor. And sometimes we don't celebrate the skill in that.
Yo, you know what it was? Yo, when I tell you, you cannot tell me, no one can tell me that the ninth pawn ain't real. No one can tell me this character, like, now when I wrote a character, not only did I write the character, I gave that character detail.
Yeah. Let me ask you something.
Detail, like I can tell you what school he went to.
Yeah, let me ask you something. Do you believe that the environment is a character in the movie too?
Absolutely. That's what makes the character.
Yeah, the environment he's in.
That's what makes the character. Like if he's in a bad neighborhood, it'll make him to a gangster, a drug dealer. It can even make him to you can make him to a square because his mother might know he's in a bad environment and might want to shelter him.
Yeah.
So the environment plays a key part. Absolutely.
You know who was my favorite character on Ninth Pawn?
Who?
The black chick.
Which one?
The one, the barbershop scene, the gangster chick, the dark skinned girl.
The barbershop scene?
When she
Country.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That was one of my favorite characters. That's why I said I don't think you realize how locked in I was on that.
I would love to work with Country. I would love to get my cast back. But honestly, I know how, as time goes on, you kind of, spread. Like, how Game Dash and
it gotta be in stone.
EPMD.
What happened.
Yeah, like I don't know what. Like I love all the people that I work with. For some reason, we just went our separate ways.
Cause it was so young, so fresh.
Yo, I had fun. Like
I did too. The little time I was a part of it. You remember I edited some of it. I helped with some of the right. I love where you was going with it. I felt like the story was.
You know what? We're gonna end this episode, and we're gonna come back. The next episode we're gonna talk about the ninth pawn and what you're working on, what I'm working on, what kind of collaboration we can do together. I definitely, when we come back, I definitely want to touch back on production in a whole. So
let me ask you one question before we wrap.
Sure.
I think we spoke on this on the Unwanted Guest set. How passionate are you about what's your approach when you're directing a script that you didn't write versus directing a script that you did write? What are some natural differences that you approaches that you take?
Well, for the scripts and the characters I wrote, is detail. It's more detailed than the reader. Like, let's say you give me a script, then I gotta kind of assume what you want. But something I write, when I said, when I wrote that same Babassan scene, because every character has a history. Mm-hmm. It's not like you write, every character is a gangster, but each character has depth. Country, she was let back in third grade.
And how everybody bumped heads in that scene is when you saw the significance in the scene. You know what I mean?
I spent hours daily writing the ninth pawn. Like that's a part of me. Like,
and yo, not to cut you, shout out to the cast of Ninth Pawn, because I really enjoyed myself on those sets, bro. And
I want to give a shout out to my whole cast. I mean, it's a lot. So from Mark Daddy, even then, I want to say rest in peace to my man, Shot Your DVD, my man Wit. Like he taught me a lot. Like me and Wit was close. Like we spent hours on the phone just talking about videos. We just talk about cameras. I call him, yo son, you see a new camera that just came out? Next thing you know, we just talk 3 hours about a lens.
So it's fair to say you love this shit, man.
Oh, I more than love it. At first it comes family. Directing comes on the same title as my job. And I've been on my job going on 25 years. I love production and filming.
And you're living for me, I think you're living a real dream because you don't put no pressure on it. You put yourself in a position where you can really enjoy
I put pressure on myself though.
But what I see now is you just doing it and not having to, because a lot of creators now, the pressure is in post. What do we do after the project is done?
Well,
your joy is in making it and just giving it to the world and let it do what it do. That's a process. I guess the point I'm making is that's a huge process.
We'll do on the next segment, we'll definitely touch on the Ninth Pawn. Let's give a shout out to the Ninth Pawn Productions.
I mean that, because let's keep it a buck. Since Unwanted Guests, we ain't see each other in a year, right?
I probably was more than that, because
like a year and a half. So
probably almost a year below.
I just really respected your ability to tell a story.
I appreciate that.
So I'm passionate about if I was to ever give you a script and tell you produce it and direct it, I don't want my interpretation to a T. I want your interpretation as the actor. As a director.
It's just gonna cost you because I'm kind of sold out. It's gonna cost you. People's hollering at me. So it might cost you a couple dollars.
But do you understand the point I'm making? It's if I write at you a script, I want your interpretation of that story. I don't want my interpretation. And that's what I had to learn. Once you hand off that script, I'm trusting you with your interpretation of this story.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to micromanage you. I just want to have conversations before we shoot about this is where this line is.
Pre-production.
Yeah. So for me, that's what I've learned to appreciate the most is like directing from a bigger spectrum. Like it don't gotta be my script now.
Well, we gotta. How do you say? We gotta let our sponsors pay.
Yeah.
Big out to Pornhub.
There you go. Shout out to My Block TV. Shout out to Queens Television. Shout out to Branch Out Production. Shout out to Anchor. I'm in a good space right now. Before we did this, right or wrong, we shot 4 episodes of My Block TV. Like it was
Absolutely.
And then we took a break and jumped right into this.
And we about to do about another 30 more minutes of Branch Out and My Block TV collabo.
Yeah.
We right back, deuces.